$75,000. If it were that easy, why doesn't everybody do it? As a matter of fact, I don't know. Why doesn't everybody do it? In this video, you're going to learn the exact 3 languages that you can learn today to master so that you can start earning the big bucks, so that you can start earning 6 figures, so that you can start working remotely. Now, if you don't know me, I am an ex-Amazon engineer, and now I am sharing what I have learned so that you can shortcut your way into the tech industry, so that you can shortcut your way into earning a 6-figure salary. And so I know you're probably a busy person, so let me just cut straight to the chase. What are the 3 languages that you need to learn, that you need to master to break into the tech industry and start earning? The first should come as no surprise to you, all right? It is HTML. And if you're watching this and you don't know what HTML is, go ahead and close this video. I am not the guy for you. If you don't even know what HTML is, if you haven't heard of HTML, do yourself a favor, go look up what HTML is, what it means. What are we even talking about when we talk about HTML? Those of you that are still here, we know what HTML is, right? This is the language. These are the building blocks of the internet. Every element you see on the page, boom, 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 boom. These are all HTML elements. Everything you see here, these are HTML elements. These are essentially the building blocks of the internet, all right? So every web page you go on, there are different buttons, there are different icons, text, things like that. They are all HTML elements. This is the fundamental language that you're going to need to learn if you're going to be a web developer, which is what I recommend as the easiest way into tech, the easiest way to become a software engineer. So you need to learn HTML, and this is going to allow you to build your own personal website. You're going to be able to create basic websites with HTML. They may not look super pretty because you can't yet style them with HTML alone, and that's what I'll talk about in the next language here, but they will enable you to go ahead and put text on the screen. They will enable you to go ahead and create basic websites. The second language that you're going to need to learn is CSS, all right? CSS. What does CSS stand for? This is Cascading Style Sheets, all right? So this is the language that enables you to actually style a page. So in the previous language, we talked about HTML. If you're familiar with HTML, you know exactly what it is. It's elements of a website. What does CSS allow us to do? It allows us to actually style the elements, okay? So if this was just CSS, this would look very, very ugly. Or excuse me, if this was just HTML, this would look very, very ugly. These buttons would not look pretty, okay? But because there's CSS on this page, we can actually see, I can show you what this looks like. These are CSS classes. You can see the different styles on here. You can see this color right here, all right? What does that do? Well, it colors different things. You can change the font of the page. You can change the font size and all these different styles and settings that you can change on the page to make things look pretty, to make things look aesthetic, all right? So if you're going to learn a second language, go ahead and learn CSS, right? And these two are very tightly coupled together. HTML and CSS, they're like 2 peas in a pod. They're best friends, right? This is what's going to actually help you make pretty websites. Just with these two alone, you can make a lot of stuff out there on the internet. You can make things look good. You can make your own personal site that wows recruiters, that wows your friends, that wows your family, to the point where they'll think, wow, are you actually an engineer? Are you actually a software engineer? You can do pretty cool things with just HTML and CSS. And I'd encourage you to go look up amazing static websites, amazing, beautiful, pure HTML, CSS websites, and you can get an idea of what you can accomplish with just HTML and CSS. But the reason that these two are important is these give you the fundamentals to go and create websites, which is what you'll be doing if you're a web developer, if you're just trying to break into the industry. Now, the third and final language that you need to learn, that you need to master the basics, yes, you guessed it, it is the king. It is the holy grail of job opportunity, 6-figure job opportunities. You can land a job anywhere, remotely, start earning what you want. This is the king, and it is JavaScript, all right? It is JavaScript. So what does JavaScript do? It enables you to actually give function to websites, all right? If there's an email capture form, if you want to drag this thing around the screen, if you want these buttons to actually do anything, you're going to need a bit of JavaScript. So think of JavaScript as kind of like breathing air, breathing life into a website, all right? With just HTML and CSS, it's kind of just like a barren house. There's no life, there's nobody living in it. With JavaScript, all of a sudden there's life, there's moving doors, there's appliances. A house has become a home. It is alive, right? It is a living animal. That is kind of what JavaScript does. This is all the function behind websites. This is the logic, all right? This is what actually moves things around. And the reason JavaScript is so fundamental to web development is it gives you so many options, right? And nowadays, when people are building their engineering teams, when people are building their tech stacks, they want their tech stacks to be as dynamic as possible. They want to be able to hire anybody who can come into any part of their stack and make a great contribution and make a great impact, right? So JavaScript allows you to write front-end code. So an example might be React, JavaScript, which is a front-end framework, and it allows you to write back-end code. A very popular back-end framework right now is Node.js. All right, and with these two, all right, so this is front ends. So JavaScript allows you to write front ends, and not only that, it allows you to write back-end code, all right? And when you're breaking into the industry, it's not in your best interest to go and learn a million different languages. You're just going to get confused. You're just going to watch tutorial after tutorial, and everything will just get hard and confusing, and you'll wonder if you're doing the right thing, and oh, it's going to seem so hard, and you're going to want to quit, because I know, because I was in your shoes at some point, it's challenging. I get it. So we want to make sure it is as easy, as simple as a path as possible for you, so that you don't get frustrated, so that you can break into the industry as fast as possible and start getting paid. You want to start getting paid without going and learning, memorizing everything like as if you were an encyclopedia, right? So learn JavaScript. If there's nothing else you take from this video, JavaScript is your best friends, all right? So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, these are the three king languages that you need to learn in 2025 to break into tech, to break into software engineering as quickly and as easily as possible without all the fluff. Ignore the people that say you need to learn Python and Go and Golang and C++ and C#. They're just freaking nerds that want to either make software engineering seem like it's way harder than it is, or they're on their high horse, or they think they're smarter than you, and yada, yada, yada. Just learn the basics, man. Just learn the basics. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These will get you a job. These will get you your first job. And if you master these are good enough to give you an entire career, all right? If you just want to be a front-end developer, all right, you can go down here and just master React. You can master CSS, you can master HTML, and you can look up what some of the top front-end engineers in the world make. They don't just make 100K. They don't just make 200K. There's some of these guys making 200, 300, 400K. I mean, you go and look at some of the salaries at OpenAI, at Anthropic, at some of these places, they are pulling down disgustingly fat salaries, all right? What would you do with 500 grand per year? Take a second and think about that. What would you do with 500 grand a year? Would you buy a new house? Would you get a vacation home? Would you go and travel? Would you quit your job? Would you have more children? Would you go hang out with your friends? Would you go on nicer dates? Would you go out to fancy dinners? Just think of all you could do with that 500K, or would you just save it all like a frugal little man or woman you are? Who knows? But the point stands, if you are trying to break into tech as quickly and as easily as possible, these are the basics. Learn HTML, learn CSS, learn JavaScript, and that's all I got for you today. If you enjoyed this video, I've included a link down below to a free guide. This guide is going to teach you exactly how to break into tech as fast and as easily as possible, step by step, just like I did and just like you can do today in 2025, so that you can break into tech quickly and easily and start earning those big bucks that you're after, all right, and get that freedom that you're after, all right? So if you want the guide, it's down below in the description, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.